sweet little bundle of joy. The Mehta family was having dinner. There was a loud thud outside. Mr. Mehta said to Saurabh,
"That must be Bruno. I think he wants to come in. Won't you go and let him in, Saurabh?"
Saurabh got up and went out. The whole family looked up cheerfully, expecting to see Bruno, their dog. But Saurabh came back with a white, scared face. He looked at his father and said,
"Bruno is not there. Dad, there is a basket lying outside. A long basket with something inside. It's crying." "It's a baby,"
cried Tanya, Saurabh's sister. Mrs. Mehta lifted the baby from the basket. The baby stopped crying and looked at her with wide open eyes. "Such a beautiful baby! Come here, children." Both Saurabh and Tanya looked at the baby with utter amazement.
"Look at its little hands,"
murmured Tanya.
"They are so soft and pink."
His eyes were blue and sparkling like stars. Mrs. Mehta was examining the baby's clothes. She noticed a piece of paper tucked away in his clothes. "Here's a note. Let's see what it says." Mrs. Mehta read the note and said, "His mother is dead. His father is a vagabond. There is nobody to take care of him."
"But the question is, what shall we do with him?"
said Mr. Mehta.
"Perhaps we could take him to an orphanage,"
he suggested. "Yes, we could. But first, let's clean him and feed him," Mrs. Mehta said.
"We could keep him, Mother,"
exclaimed Saurabh.
"I would love to. Please, please, can we?"
Meanwhile, Mrs. Mehta washed and dressed the baby and fed him some warm milk with a spoon. The children watched the process with eager eyes. "Baby has got a tooth too, it seems," Mrs. Mehta exclaimed in surprise. "I feel it pricking through his gums this minute. I'm wondering if it is better to keep him with us through his teething stage. He also needs medicines and vaccines. Should he stay with us until he is a bit stronger? What do you say?" The children were delighted with their mother's suggestion.
"Oh, keep him, keep him!"
The children shrieked in delight. "Okay, that's settled then," said Mr. and Mrs. Mehta together. "The baby can stay with us for a while. But what shall we call him?" All eyes were fixed on the baby. He beamed up at everyone with his golden brown hair and round, rosy cheeks.
"Golu!"
cried Saurabh.
"Let's call him Golu."
"All right, Golu it is," said Mrs. Mehta.